season. And we're underway from College Park. Justin Shockey, the junior from Potomac, winning it for the Terrapins. Back to the face-off, and Michigan will have their first offensive possession. Rowlett for Michigan and Justin Shockey for the Terrapins. You see that new stance for the face-offs introduced. And Michigan controls again, looking to get a little bit of momentum. And Logan Wisnauskas. Kyle Long maybe not getting enough attention, and that can be when he pops up and puts those in the back of the net. Maryland controls the face-off, but it's going to go back to the Wolverines. The door on the other end, come down to their side and put another one in. Shockey not quite able to get the scoop on that one, but eventually does it. The second try of asking. Now here's Bernhardt.
Even in a whole lot of traffic up by the goalie. So
the Terps take a 3-goal lead with 2 minutes left in the first and win another face-off to go again. Exactly. It's Bernhardt. But now Michigan will look to make up for their mistake on this offensive possession with about a minute and 40 seconds today for game one of our doubleheader. Women's soccer coming up after this game at 4:30, but still plenty of time to go, and Michigan will look to have a coming early from behind against the number 5 team in the nation. Shockey, a pretty comfortable win there off the face-off for Maryland.
Behind the back for a pass to Logan Wisnauskas for a goal. Did it against High Point as well in this building a season ago to start off 2020.
That stat is almost as impressive as your memory to remember that, Ben. Transfer from Cleveland State, his first goal in a Maryland uniform. The scrum for the ball, and eventually, no, still not
when
one.
He gets going, finding the net, he is certainly likely to score more than one, score in bunches.
6 seconds left on the man-up opportunity for the Terrapins. As we head back to the face-off X. Scooped up by Maryland. That time it was contest. They're up by 7 with under 5 left in the first half. Single goal shy of tying his career high of 5, which was February 15th of last year against Penn. And oh, by the way, it's still only the first half.
Especially when he's behind X, allowing players to cut towards goal.
So we begin the second half. Brendan Hartlove, Ben Curtis, so glad you could join us for this Saturday afternoon kickoff to the Big Ten season in men's lacrosse. Game one of our doubleheader, number 1 jersey.
Make that now 27 straight games with a goal for Jared Bernhardt.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Michigan controls the day for Jared Bernhardt. Scrum on the big red M, and eventually it's scooped up by the Wolverines.
Deficit.
And when you look at games, those are the kind of moments that you can look back to. If Michigan can build some momentum from that big-time moment. And Shockey struggles to scoop that one up. Grow up going to these games at Capital One Field at Maryland Stadium since you're a little kid. And so many of these guys talk about how much it means to be part of this program that they grew up watching and grew up loving and now get to don the uniform themselves. So a big, big moment for Jack Clark and making history. Ben, you talked a lot about that face-off battle today. And it is pretty tight. But Michigan, again, leading standards, but he finds his first of the afternoon to cap off a beautiful sequence by the Terrapins. You saw that replay. That pass to Bernhardt came from Hartlove alongside Ben Curtis. So happy you could join us for game one of our doubleheader today. Maryland women's soccer making history, being the first time a women's soccer game played inside this stadium, coming up at 4:30 Eastern. 2 here today to start 2021 with a multi-goal game as well. Try to keep that streak going at Penn State next week, and then the rivalry against Hopkins.
Because McNaney has looked comfortable stopping shots from way out there, but that time Jackson with a little extra mustard on it to beat him low.
Maryland scoops it up.
Freshman out of Georgia, Eric Maliver, running X just like Jared Bernhardt would, and we'll see if that's part of the long-term plan for John Tillman. But if you're a Maryland Terrapin fan thinking about maybe 2022, we talked about the freshman to the sophomore connection, Maliver to Maltz on the other end for Maryland. If you're a Big Ten lacrosse fan, if you're a college lacrosse fan, you're going to hear the name Josh Sawada a whole lot over the next couple of years. He is an emerging star in this sport.
Park, Maryland, into the net for the Wolverines. Again, Michigan with the offensive possession. Their highest scoring one, but starts off his sophomore season with 4 goals. And again, the Wolverines will have. You see the Terps defensive unit come together in a huddle after conceding 4 straight goals here late in the game. And just a couple minutes ago before this onslaught, you were talking about things John Tillman is going to look to this game to try and improve, and I think we have a new top of the list.
Well, for Logan McNaney, that's not the first time he's been beat low. That's where Michigan's going.
Again, Michigan on the offense.
To try to pick up that giant milestone and help Maryland on the offensive end.
98 goals over 4 years at Colgate. He's all Patriot League second team twice. Now joins this Maryland offense. Very high pedigree of players. John Tillman adds another. Conceded.
That's something else if we talk about what both of these teams can take going into the future. That's not the last time this season that Maryland's going to give up a run of goals against them. So it's how do you respond after being punched in the mouth? Chase Cope responds with a goal.
Just a scrum around midfield trying to scoop this one up, and it's still not clear just yet. Eventually, the goal from number 28 takes the score to 20-8 in favor of Maryland with under 4.5 minutes left in this one. Maryland doubling up Michigan on shots on goal, 30-14.
And that all kind of came off of a really heads-up play from Justin Scherer off of that big scrum that you talked about. He kicked it back towards his own defense.
This is the checkers game.
His first of the season.
What kind of momentum does that have to give the Wolverines coming into next week's game, a winnable one back at home against Johns Hopkins?
Luke Weirman in doing the face-offs for the Terrapins now. Shot there flashes wide from Nicholas DeMeo.